Hey guys, it's me Charlie. Today is February 19th, 2013, and on today's video I thought I'd help you guys set up an axolotl tank, or axolotl. I keep getting people leaving me rude comments about how it's pronounced, and I totally understand. Potato, potato, tomato, tomato. Depending on where you come from, you can't tell someone from England or Australia how to pronounce it if they have a certain way of saying certain words. So, axolotl is the proper way because it has ax, A-X, and I pronounce it axolotl because, axolotl. So, it's not ox like O-X. So with that said, I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys with what I'm doing here today. I'm cleaning out my 10-gallon aquarium, and I have some sand substrate in here. And what I've been doing is I've just been kind of scrubbing the sides of the fish tank to get rid of anything that might be on there. And I'm cleaning out all the things that are inside the fish tank. This is a 10-gallon aquarium that I purchased from Petco probably last year for, I think it was... They raised it to like $13.99. It used to be $9.99, but now they're $13.99. And it's a 10-gallon aquarium, and I have some driftwood that I put in here that sticks out, so I don't have a hood like this one here. I'm in the kitchen, so that's why it's a little bit of a mess. But I decided to make it very simple and basic. I have some plastic plants. I'm using this very fine sand. This is almost like beach sand. And when the axolotls swallow whatever they're swallowing on the bottom, like let's say that's a pellet and they suck it up, they'll suck up a little sand and that'll just go right through their system. You never want to use gravel. So gravel I've used when I first started my babies out because I had nowhere else to put them. And unfortunately, when they got big, I didn't take them out on time and I lost a few of my axolotl adults. So that was a bad experience. So with the 10-gallon aquarium, let me go ahead and show you next what it looks like with water inside and what I use to dechlorinate the water and what else I might put in there. And I'll show you guys that next. Alright, so I have a Duetto filter here that I love. I've had this since I was a teenager, and I'm not going to tell you guys, never mind. But I've had this for a long time, and it's a filter that I love. It's called Duetto, and they come in like a half size, and then they come in this size. What I love about this, as you can hear, it has suction cups. So you can place this flat, you can put this upwards like this, and the water can spray upwards and do like the circulation. You can turn it sideways and the water will go like this, and on this side it'll suck it up, which is against the glass. Or you can turn it this way and it'll get sucked up there, and you can move this little filter here any way you want, even facing downwards, so that way the water won't move, just barely trickling, I think it's called, on top. And that way your axolotls don't have to have too much moving water. This also has a setting to lower the pressure of the water being sucked up and pushed out. And it's got a filter sponge in it. It also has a cartridge filter that's got charcoal in it. And what's really nice about that, it's like a filter, like a Brita filter. It gets rid of any kind of chemicals or any metals and stuff that's in the water. So it's really important to always try to change that out. It also has a long filter sponge that comes out in a pull tray. And this could also be set up against the glass this way, so you can actually do a terrarium setup, so you can have water up to maybe like up to here, and the rest of the way up. It's a little dirty on top, so you're seeing a little powder. I still got to clean it. That way you can do half land, half water with this. It has like a little thing right here that opens up that allows air to go in, so that way you can actually make like bubbles. I don't really use that almost ever, but you could if you have a little tubing that goes with it, or just open it up and let a little air in. The tube that goes in here hangs out and clips on the outside of the tank, and when this pours water, it also pours bubbles, so it adds more oxygen. The Duetto, I got this at Petco when I used to work there. I was 17 years old, and when I worked there, this is the water I'm using straight from the sink. When I worked there, I bought it for turtles, and then later I turned it into my tank. I turned my 10-gallon into a frog tank, so I had fire-bellied toads in there, which was half land, half water. And then later I decided to use it for my fish tank, and I've used it ever since. I should buy more of these. I mean, I've had this for many years, and it worked really well. I even have a little one that I don't use, but I should for smaller tanks. So this is my filter. This is what I use. I really like it a lot. It's called Duetto, and I recommend it. So now let me show you real quickly. These are, you could buy something like this at your grocery store. It's a basic dechlorinator, and some of the newer brands that are coming out are kind of like this AquaSafe, which has all kinds of things that help benefit, like the bioextracts. It's a water conditioner, and you can use it for salt water or fresh water. And same thing with this one here. It has aloe vera, and this conditions the water and removes chlorine. It also adds like a slime coat. Now fish have, when you go to touch them, they're slimy. When they get stressed, they release that slime, and that slime is what protects them from getting sick or diseases or fungus. And if they get that, especially when you buy new fish, you need to make sure you add this stuff in there. It also dechlorinates the water. This you can buy at Petco. You can buy this one at Petco or PetSmart. These smaller bottles you can get at the grocery stores. This one was actually a friend of mine. She bought it. I'm not sure if she got it at a pet store or if she got it at the grocery store. But they sell these and they're very inexpensive. So I also add water to a bucket, a clean bucket that I use only for my fish. The best way to go about this is if you have, if you're doing a quick water change, try to take the bucket of water and aerate it with a bubbler to make this air in the water to get rid of the chlorine naturally. But fish hate brand new water. They do not like this. Not even if you dechlorinate it. They like water that's been established. 4 to 6 weeks is where the establishment of the bacteria. That's why you end up buying cheap fish to put into your fish tank. But if you got to do it this way, fill up your fish tank, which I'm going to show you next, and add your liquids and your filter. Alright, so I have my fish tank set up here. It's my 10-gallon aquarium with the sand and the filter. I haven't turned it on. I just filled it with water. So now I'm going to go ahead and even out the sand on the bottom. And you don't have to be perfect at this part. And the reason why I'm doing this, just for the looks of it, because I don't want to have to deal with it later. And, sorry, I'm trying to look at the video and even this out at the same time, so I can see what you guys are seeing. I love the white sand. It looks really pretty. There's also a black sand that people use. But the white one is just very pretty. You can see everything in there. Alright, so the water's going to be just a tiny bit cloudy. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add my driftwood that I use. I use a smooth driftwood. I don't use one of those kinds that have a lot of points everywhere where it hurts the fish. And I'm going to go ahead and dechlorinate the water. The way you use this, it's 1 teaspoon. It says the directions on the back. 1 teaspoon per every 10 gallons. So, I so happen to have a little teaspoon right here. I'm doing this with one hand, so I'm going to try to lay this there, which I'm just going as I go. And if it falls in, I hope it falls in inwards. Alright. And I'm going to push it in just because I don't want it to fall. And it's in there for now. So 1 teaspoon of that stuff that I use, which dechlorinates the water and conditions it and adds slime to it. I don't want to stick my whole arm in there, but too late. Get rid of what's in there. I gotta wash the outside of the black trim here to make it look nice. Alright, so now I'm gonna go ahead and add my driftwood. So I'm grabbing it for you guys right now. This is a piece that I've had for a long time. And I kind of know how it goes in just because there's a part of it that hangs out. So when I first got this wood, it actually floated in here, and I couldn't get it to go in. Oh, you know what? I needed to put the other one in first. Alright. I don't even remember how it goes. Let's just try it this way for now. Here's the second one. Oh, that's good. You know what? I'm going to do it this way. I've never done this way before, because it holds the filter from sliding. Because if it slides to the bottom, it'll suck up some of the sand. And I don't want it to suck up the sand. I'm going to try it this way this time. Now, some of it does hang out, so I don't have a top for this. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust the frame for you guys. And it'll be different this time. I might leave it like that. I might change it. I'm not sure. I've never had it that way before. So we'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the filter. And I will turn on the light so you guys can see, and then after that I'm going to put in the axolotls, which is my adult pair, and I'll be right back. So I've added the filter now. I turned it on, and I decided I'm just going to do it this way. You can change it like I said, move the direction towards the glass. You'll get a little trickle, make sure there's no water falling over the edge, and see how calm the water is, kind of. So that's one way. But in a 10-gallon of this type of filter, you can move it any way you want. What this does, when I put it towards the glass, it circulates like this. So it'll pick up anything that's right here along the glass, if any food left over, and get shoved to the back and sucked up into that filter over there. And then if I want to change it again, I can put it against the glass, and now I can make a swirl going around this way. So I really like this filter because of that reason. I have it straight up and down over there in the back, and for me it works perfect. I think I'm going to go ahead and keep the driftwood the way I have it, the way I put it in on accident. It's different, it looks okay. And I'm going to go ahead and add the plastic plants now. I also turn on my blue light. Now, this is just your regular old-fashioned turn on and off light that you use on the desk. I put a blue light bulb in there that I got from the dollar store. They sell them for $1, and sometimes a couple of them for $1. And I've had it for about a year, and it's worked perfect. And it's a nice blue light. So in the video, you guys can't tell. It looks like an incandescent light bulb, but it's not. It's a blue light, and I wish the video would pick that up, but I don't know why it never does. So the next thing here is I'm going to put in these plastic plants. Now my breeding pair, I would love to give them real plants, but they're a breeding pair, and they're always laying eggs, and it's a little frustrating because I can't keep live plants in here. If I do, they just lay eggs on it. Then I have to uproot the plants, and I have to suck off all of the, or not suck off, pull all the eggs off, which I've done once in my very first video, and I never want to do that again because I didn't want to kill all the plants. But if you have Elodia, or Elodia, whatever its way it's pronounced, you could do that because that plant is very hardy. And also, the plant you could, I'm trying to think where I want to put this one. Do I want it there? I'll try it. You could just snip it and re-put it somewhere else, so that way you can continue to grow the plant. There's not enough sand. I need to get some more sand. Another hint, if you buy sand for your fish tank, do the same amount of pounds as the size of your fish tank. So if you have a 10-gallon aquarium, get 10 pounds of sand. Sorry, my memory is full, so I had to redo this part. So if you get a fish tank and you need to add some gravel, the best way to remember is if you have a 10-gallon aquarium, go ahead and do 10 pounds of gravel or sand or whatever you're using. In this case, 10 pounds of sand would work great. I buy this in bulk actually from my local feed store, our pet store that's also a feed store, and they sell it by the pound, and it's really inexpensive. And so I tend to get a little bit more than the 10 gallons. So I get 10 or more than 10 pounds. So I get like 11 or 12. Because that extra helps with the plants. So this is just a quick way of putting the plants. I just put it that way. I don't know. I might try to move it around. I might stick it over here. I just wanted to put it by the wood where it won't get knocked, because the axolotls like to dig, and sometimes they'll just dig that up, and this helps give it a little support. So basically that's how I set up my axolotl tank. You can add some more things to the fish tank. Let me show you the adults. They're big. They're like alligators. This is my male. He creeps me out because he's huge. See his testicles? Look how big those are. He's a big boy. Ooh, don't turn around. They don't have teeth. I just don't like their big mouths because they have like a suction cup for a bite. This is the female. This is Lucy. Lucy's not as pretty. She's got black spots on her face, but it's okay. And that's Desi. He's a wild type axolotl. Don't know, the light just turned off on my camcorder, which means the power is running low. So let me show you what they look like inside the tank. I'm trying to grab my camcorder without getting it wet. Alright, for the last part here, this is now completed. I have my axolotls in here, and I got the plants and the soft driftwood. I forgot to mention that the driftwood, I got it a long time ago, years ago, about 10 years ago, and I paid about $35 for it. Driftwood's very expensive, but it's specific for fish tanks, and if you decide to do your own driftwood, you want to make sure that you Google the process of how to cure it, because you don't want any bugs, or you don't want, worse, any kind of chemicals that are attached to the driftwood and then seep out into your fish tank and killing all your fish. But that was one thing I wanted to mention. The other thing is I don't have a top for my 10-gallon aquarium because I have this that hangs out, which you can put something on here if you want, like a live plant. You can wedge it right in here. You can actually buy peace lily, and you can buy a bunch of peace lily and just stick it right in here and bunch it up somehow, maybe with a clear fishing line, and then attach it. So you might have to just take one string around here and then attach it, put the roots into here, and then the outside of the bouquet can be completely out here. That way you can have a nice little plant sticking out and the roots in the inside. And it also benefits from the fish tank here. Now, the bad thing about keeping axolotls inside of a 10-gallon aquarium, even though there's a filter back there, axolotls pee and poop in their own water, kind of like turtles. So when they poop, they release tons of ammonia. And if you are the type of person that can actually pull out those pebbles quickly, they're like little teeny tiny pellets. They're long. They look like a large stretched out coffee bean. You can do that yourself, but I never do. It just gets broken down and sucked up into the filter, and then I change the filter. I do recommend that you use, for sure, the cartridge, the charcoal, because that's like Brita water. It makes it sweet and clean and clear, and it makes the water crystal clear, and it gets rid of toxins and odors. And because it's running 24 hours a day, you're probably going to need to change your charcoal every month, every 30 days. And it's really important to keep your fish healthy and happy. It's like their filter system, kind of like your filter system in your home. You don't want your home to be full of all these bad things in the air that you're breathing in and making your lungs bad. And I do feed them newt pellets. You can see I threw some in there, and they're not eating it right now. Little common goldfish, little teeny tiny ones, guppies. I have thousands of red wiggler worms that I keep myself for gardening. And what else? Sometimes raw shrimp. Sometimes teeny tiny pieces of raw, that's not a good video, of, I needed to clean the glass before I did this last part. Chicken. Just a little teeny tiny piece of raw chicken. Just enough for them to eat, but they don't really care for it as much. Sometimes liver, but the liver breaks up and it kind of makes the water a little cloudy. Now, the bad thing about those raw foods is it contaminates your water quickly. So water changes is probably a good idea. You can either do like a half water change, or like I do about 65-70% water change. And just to get rid of the water, because like I said, they do poop, and it has the pee combined together, I think. I'm not really sure. Kind of like chickens. You know, they don't just squat down and urinate, they poop. And it's liquidy, so I think that's it. Thanks for watching, and if you guys have any comments or questions, leave them below. If you'd like to subscribe to my videos, I would love that. And if you want to rate the video and give it a thumbs up, great. If you want, give it a thumbs down. Either way, I am happy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Now I just gotta wait for the water to clear up. See her face? Little black spots, and she's getting fat again, so I'm worried she's pregnant. She's always pregnant, like every 3 months. And the male's on the other side. Because he's sleeping. Let me move this. He's huge. He's the whole length of the one side of the fish tank. And this is a 10-gallon aquarium. See how long he is? Doesn't he look like an alligator? It's Desi. I'm trying to... I really should have wiped the glass down. They're very sweet. They never fight.